all going forward. So I think France is in it to say, look, game 1 was humiliating. Game 2, we got a little respect. Game 3, let's win it.
And the South Africans, they were far too strong for Wales. I think they won that 38-16.
Yeah.
Brian Abana across the way.
Twice. I mean, Willie Leroux was all over all those guys. I mean, he had them for breakfast, lunch, and supper.
Yeah.
I think he created 3 tries, scored 1 himself. Wales, for me, were a bit, what's the word, immature in terms of the way they approached defense.
Yeah.
The kick over the top, they couldn't deal with it. I don't know what was up. I think they're really missing Halfpenny.
Yeah.
And you could see that. Every time their backline was moving forward, it was just a small chip and gather.
Yeah.
All right. My man, the big guy, what's his name, number 11? George North, shipped around 3 tries. It was the tackler on about 3 tries. I think he must be very disappointed with himself in terms of how he handled defense.
Yeah.
And then going forward, they never really offered much. So I think they gave South Africa too much respect. And hopefully this weekend, if Gatland is talking to them, he's tell them, you know what, you need to front up. Otherwise, it's going to be another 50-point game.
To be fair to South Africa, David, you look at Jean Staffontein, his first game, brilliant game. You look at JP Peterson, he turned up. And
that's what I'm saying. So Jan Staffontein against the best number 12 at the Lions last year, what's his name? I'm not up to my game, but that 12, Jan Staffontein should not dominate him, okay? In terms of man-to-man, JP Peterson has played how many games at 13? Yeah. I mean, for me, Wales should be disappointed in themselves. They didn't front up on the day. They didn't show any hunger. They didn't show any purpose.
To quote their backs coach Sean Edwards, the solution might be locking up Willie Leroux.
Yeah, Willie Leroux.
Before the game.
but the fact that they didn't deal with that kick that he kept putting behind. And it was the same kick. And for me, it shows immaturity if you can't change tactics or realign to say, you know what, this is what's happening to us. Okay. And of course, the yellow card early on didn't help them. So with that yellow card, I think they failed to reorganize the defense. South Africa went away with it. And then I think they were too dominant. Though they tried from Alex Cuthbert at the end, showed what they can do. But I think they waited too long and gave South Africa, as I said, too much respect.
Okay. And next year, of course, is a World Cup year. Yes. Do you think there is anything to read into the teams? I know most of them have been having high-profile absentees, but anything to read in, anything that has caught your eye?
In my mind, it is England. I think England are looking like a team that can go on and win the World Cup.
Yeah. In their backyard.
Yes. They've come close twice against New Zealand. Not that New Zealand is on form, so that doesn't tell much. But in terms of where they play, their enterprise, their ability to score tries, for me shows that, yes, they do have intent. The fact that they lost the games might come back to haunt them, because then you want to build that spirit or that belief that you can win. And they're not doing that. But as far as the World Cup is concerned, the Northern Hemisphere teams will be quite concerned that they're not able to win games. And it looks like the Southern Hemisphere is going to continue to dominate this.
And Philip, any takeaways from the tests? Really, looking forward, if you're looking forward to the World Cup.
Like he said, I mean, we're discussing it earlier. Stuart Lancaster right now says he has a selection headache. That's how good the England team is. And they're playing at home. And when you look at results, I mean, New Zealand won the first test, but England was missing 14 players.
It was.
From Saints and what's the other team? Because they were in the final. So it's Saracens. So really it shows you England is in a place they would want to be as a host nation, whereas the people we expect to be dominant look like they're struggling. So going out of the test, to me, I think the big winners, England, South Africa, of course, naturally a team I support. I mean, the game against Wales was good enough. If they can keep that form up, especially that they missed De Villiers and they were missing their captain, Jean De Villiers, and a couple of players. So it shows they have depth in talent.
Okay. Well, let's move on now, because Sevens Rugby is back on the menu. Protector Heathens started the defense of their National Sevens title with victory in the first of 2 legs to be played here in Kampala. Veteran Brian Chikawa was never present as Heathens saw off rivals DMAC Cobs and Toyota Buffaloes. He's been speaking to us.
I've played sevens all my life, I would say so, because I enjoy it. First of all, I enjoy what I do in the sevens. On a sevens pitch, there's really more gaps, more space, that you can do anything with that space than the 15s. Right now, I think the reason as to why we're not up there because there's not really so much investment into the sevens rugby like the 15s rugby, and I think if there was investment into the sevens rugby, would be a little far from where we are right now. And probably also the changing of the team every single time also is a problem, because if we have the same coaches, that means we would have the same players more often, and these are players who get used to each other and play better and better than the way they do it. Change this year, change the other year. It was a pretty hard game. I mean, they also had mature players like we are, and experience like we said, and that's why it got harder for us. We became victorious. For certain reasons, I don't know how it happened, but I believe having a few brilliant players brought this victory. Yes, they gave us a run for our money. They actually had they had more players than we had who were around, because they were training for the national 7 side. They had about 5 players, and we were about 3 players from the national 7 side. Yeah, and I think they gave us a run for our money. We will still be there and watch, because some of us won't be able to play since we were stopped because of the national team. But we'll still be there to watch, and I believe for victory for Heathens in any way or the other. They're pretty good teams. It's not really going to be a circuit of the clubs. They're pretty good teams from abroad, and I believe it's a good what should I call it? It's a step to take us somewhere. It's a step to take us somewhere, and I believe if we perfect there, I mean, wherever we're going, it's going to be a big thing, and we need to perform. They're pretty good teams. It's not really going to be a circuit of the clubs. They're pretty good teams from abroad, and I believe it's a good what should I call it? It's a step to take us somewhere. It's a step to take us somewhere, and I believe if we perfect there, I mean, wherever we're going, it's going to be a big thing, and we need to perform.
Brian Chikawa, it appears sevens rugby is his habitat, isn't it?
Yes, I think it suits his size and his style of play, definitely.
And Heathens, what did you make of their performance in the first leg of National Sevens circuit?
I think they looked the sharpest of the lot, clearly head and shoulders above everyone. I was surprised that the Buffaloes managed to give them quite a scare in the second half of that final. Otherwise, overall, nice to see Philip Okorach back. Yeah. I think they have more talent than they need, so they're not yet gelling as a team. I think they think they can do it in their sleep. So I didn't see that them needing to stretch at all. I don't know what your take was.
And what I would also want to know from you is, because Heathens has been described as a forwards-oriented side, it's a very embodiment of a forwards-oriented team, yet it continues to dominate, sevens rugby, which you'd expect, sides which are less bulky, to be dominant, say, Toyota Buffaloes, but Heathens continues to dominate it. Why is this?
Of course, there's one, they have a big pool of players. I mean, the structures they had built over the club, and over time, until Buffaloes broke away, it was like a second side to Heathens, of which now I think they are using Tigers or something. But when you look at that team, there are a lot of players really. You look at Philip Okorach, like he said, you look at Benon Kiza, some of these actually turning up for the sevens team. Yeah. But even the players you'd say are bulky but not bulky. You look at, he put in a good performance. He was captaining the Barbary. Michael Tamale. He had a brilliant game. You look at Chikawa, like you said, he bulked up, but still had a brilliant game. And I think it's all about the players' fitness, the gym sessions they put in. You could see the energy difference, even in the semi-final, where it was a draw at the end of the game between them and Cobbs. When it went to sudden death, Heathens looked like it can go an extra 20 minutes. Cobbs looked like we need to finish this now. So I think it's all about fitness and preparation at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think for a long time, even at the time I played, the Heathens backline is highly underrated. Because the forwards seem to do the bulk of the job. But when you look at man on man, there are quite a bit of quality players in the backline. Quite a bit of speed, decision making. And so when people think about heathens, again, I think it's a historical thing. You think about the big, bulky white boys and the scrum and the mauling. Yet, in terms of the backline, I think the players are quite.
But this weekend, of course, the second leg of the seventh circuit is going to take place at the graveyard, and the national sevens players have been barred from taking part.
Yes.
And for heathens, you're looking at the likes of Chikawa, the likes of Beno and Chiza. Do you think this is going to take the thunder away from them?
Definitely. It's half the team.
Yeah.
It's their pace. And unless anyone returns from the from the national team, be sure to show them up if he's in the mood.
Bishop
yes. I don't see it is a huge dent, because with the players they had a sudden death finish, and again nearly Buffaloes ran them close. But of course the rest of the teams will also lose some players. So overall I think Heathens will be most impacted.
Okay. Well, that's it from us today. As always, thank you for watching. For myself and the crew, it's good day and goodbye.
NTV, turning on your world.
Program Guide
Is brought to you by
Jessa Smooth Yogurt. Program Guide. Jessa Smooth Yogurt comes in various flavors like vanilla, strawberry and banana. Jessa Farm Dairy. Always trusted, always delicious.
Tonight on NTV.
He's back for one more try in his quest to join past Super Rider greats Isamu Hasanaka and Jaromir Spechny on the list of champions.
トライアルの魅力は不可能が可能になること。日頃の嫌なことも忘れて童心に戻れるという工藤純。
Are you sure you're the love of his life, Patricia?
Yes, Antonia. Ricardo and I love each other very much. Why? You doubt it?
Who knows? I've seen plenty of dead people carrying their own coffins.
Tonight on NTV.
Hezekiah Walker and the Love Fellowship Choir are coming to Kampala June 27th. Also in concert, Exodus, Judith Babirier, and Romeo Adong, live at the New Liberty Worship Center International Lugala. Tickets are $150,000, $50,000, and $30,000 on sale at all Payway outlets and the Liberty Worship Center. Call 077-256-9708. Also join us at our special charity meet and greet dinner for cancer treatment Thursday, June 26th at the Speak Resort. Tickets $200,000. That's June 27th. Hezekiah Walker.
And the change of government won't stop a thing. I've run out of fingers counting the number of multinationals setting up here. What about the 3 companies that announced their plans to launch last week? I say there shortly. Me, I'd be looking to sell. At what price? More. Much, much more. I don't know who you are or how you know these things, but one thing I'm sure of, you're in the wrong job. Here, call me tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'd like to hear more from you.
Are you ready for your big break? The East African, understanding the region.
on your world.
Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to NTV at 1. We'll start this bulletin with a look at the headlines. Health experts in Busia town call for the closure of an abattoir with poor standards of hygiene. Also coming up, authorities in a patch district impound mosquito nets worth millions of shillings from fishing communities. And in kickboxing, John Tumukunde is set for a showdown with Sharif Bukenya in a non-title fight. You're watching NTV at 1. Once again, a warm welcome to NTV at 1. I am Mabel Kebirunji. The movement of blind pupils at Ikwera Primary School in a patch around the school premises has been made easier with the construction of a walkway to ease their mobility. Prior to the construction by National Social Security Fund, the lay of the land on which the school is built presented challenges to the visually impaired pupils and their teachers.
We were getting many problems. When we are going to class, there is high risk of accident. When we're moving to a point of the water point, we were getting high risk of there. We were not knowing the place of borehole. We were not knowing the direction of the toilet. At this now, they have constructed for us a walkway.
I can now manage time very well to come for lessons. I can walk freely, most especially when if it rains. I come to school. I enter into the class when I'm very smart.
So we believe that with this kind of walkway, the children are able to access the major school facilities with much ease, and as such, have got a better chance of education.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has launched 2 books that detail an assessment of Uganda's foreign policy over half a century and Uganda in the Security Council. The State Minister for International Affairs, Henry Okello Oriem, said the books provide a narrative of major foreign policy players, events and activities during the different phases of Uganda's post-colonial history.
To invite you to an equally exciting
One clear message in this publication is that from the recent experiences in the search for peace and stability in the Great Lakes region, including Burundi, the DRC, Sudan, and Somalia, one single doctrine has emerged of regionally led peace initiatives where the region and African Union pick the lead in resolving conflicts, with the UN Security Council supporting those efforts, and where this occurred, results have been positive.
This is part of our communication strategy that is also aimed at increasing the ministry's capacity to deliver services to Ugandans and those who would like to visit Uganda, who would like to invest in Uganda, who live abroad or at home.
50 years of diplomacy. Yeah, it outlines the history, the issues that have shaped this policy, and the personalities, because, you know, we have had governments which were socialist inclined, others which were capitalist inclined. During the time of Idi Amin, we moved towards, we joined.
Authorities in Apache district have impounded several mosquito nets and set them alight. These nets, recently supplied by government in a nationwide effort to fight malaria, were instead being used for fishing. We have this story.
The mosquito nets were initially given freely to the residents of a park in a campaign against malaria. Amlan Tumusime, the head of the enforcement team for Choga, says most of the nets confiscated belong to some people from the beach management unity who are entrusted to enforce the law, but do otherwise.
Some of the members of the BMUs are the ones who are promoting the illegalities on the learning sites. It's unfortunate that even some of the mosquito nets being given out to fight malaria are being used for fishing.
Majority of the population in a park depends on fishing as a source of income. Titus Biaruhanga, the district police commander for a park, says that enforcing the law is made difficult by suspects who evade the authorities.
We have some of them who are under prostitution already, but others, they abandon and run away, others into water even.
The trend continues despite the fact that individuals have been arrested and prosecuted for using illegal fishing gear.
The locals in the border town of Busia are calling on health experts to improve the state of the abattoir, which has poor standards of hygiene. The town's veterinary officer wants the facility shut down. We have this report.
Maggots, clogged drainage channels and overgrown grass are a common sight at the Busia town abattoir, where thousands get their meat. The slaughter facility, constructed about 5 years ago, is in poor sanitary condition, which has attracted dogs. The blood drains through a channel, collects outside a clogged pool, where it rots and mixes with filth, forming a terrible stench. The people have got used to the nauseating sight that it now seems the norm in the Naka's yard. The animals are also slaughtered and skinned on a dirty floor inside the facility. The place where the meat is washed also doubles as a bathing facility for the workmen in the abattoir. A veterinary doctor who inspected the abattoir has recommended its closure for the good of the locals.
What is available at the moment is just temporary provision of a slaughter place in the corridors where slaughters are not supposed to take place.
This follows several promises from the authorities to renovate the facility. The butchers in the abattoir are also dissatisfied, citing continued revenue collections without improving the situation.
They are
working on it, and in a short time, things will be okay.
This is the only abattoir in the district. If closed, the area faces scarcity of meat, but keeping it open disposes the consumers to health risks.
Kasese district could lose another trunk of road to floods caused by River Nyamwamba bursting its banks. This follows a heavy downpour this week. Since May, roads and bridges have been destroyed, complicating matters of transport in Kasese municipality.
Movement of traffic on Kasese Fort Portal Road is at stake as water is already eating up chunks of the road. This road is key in the district operations, and its being cut off could cause problems as even the district administrative offices will be rendered inaccessible. The river has created a wide valley as it veers off its original course. Kasese District Chief Administrative Officer William Kasinje said government is promising to avert the problem. Yesterday's flash flooding was extraordinary as River Sembwe and River Mabuku also flooded, which has not been the case when this disaster occurs. Meanwhile, the police has forced the pupils of Bulambia Primary School out and into a shelter provided by UNICEF. The tents were set up in the school's playground, and the children took refuge in a reception hall, which the headmaster, Master Africano, said would be used as classroom. Kasese District Police Commander Michael Monsani said Uganda Wildlife Authority are their base in the mountains. alerted police to warn the communities to vacate the flood-prone areas and locate to safe places.
We are now going to take a short break, but NTV at 1 continues. Do stay with us.
Did you know that more than 6 million Ugandans use the fastest growing media in the world? In fact, more than 5,000 join Facebook every week, thousands follow trends on Twitter, and many more use several other social media platforms. So, are you thinking smart about the power of online media platforms? Let You Go Uganda offer you business professional social media training, strategic online concept development, and effective online advertising solutions.
Welcome back. You are still watching NTV at 1. We now join Agnes Nandutu for this week's Point Blank.
Proudly sponsored by
bite off.
Hey! I am the man who can just look at the woman and she gets pregnant.
You should leave issues of the generals to the generals.
You want another rap?
Yeah, Susie.
The week that was, piglets infiltrate the August house. Speaker Kadaga recently set up a baby center and salon for MPs, and now it seems she has also agreed to set up a poco joint here. Sorry to our Muslim brethren, but we need to find out why and how the piglets entered parliament. Don't hurt them. Don't hurt them, Afande. Handle with care. It is a delicacy to many Ugandans. Can I read? Yes, MPs. Oh, sorry, honorable MPs.
These are brave Ugandans. That's the way to go.
Oh my!
The moment someone demonstrates using a pig, that is a sign of bad omen, and anything may happen.
Do you remember the story of the pigs in the Bible?
The devils, they were chased and they ran and entered into the pigs.
And the pigs have now run to parliament.
It's not a good sign.
This is not a laughing matter, Mheshimiwa.
As a member of parliament, I am quite scared.
Honorable, how do you get scared of And the worst part of it is that the pigs are in yellow. Can you imagine?
I think this was the writing on the wall so that people who are in yellow can understand why the symbolism of a pig was brought.
Now, let's applaud Madam Jane from CC for the good work he's doing to clean up Kampala. You buy from a vendor, you face the law, right?
Come, officer. Get the things. Can you please come with us?
No more freedom to enjoy bananas on the streets of Kampala, my brother.
There should be an indication that don't buy here. I don't know. But you don't hold me, I'm a government officer.
Oh my God. How do you expect a brother from Niger to know that it's legal to buy from street vendors in Kampala?
But there is no indication. How do I know? Yes.
The law has no eyes and relatives. Even Asians were caught in the web.
Listen to us.
Just listen to me. Please don't cry, Mom. It is only 1.5 hours in prison and you'll be free. But why did you buy from a street vendor?
I came back from abroad 4 days ago and coming back to buy something, and then someone tells me that this I'm committing a crime, supporting someone, buying fene.
And you just bought fene? So, from which country, young man?
I came from where I came from. People know where I came from. No are watching me over. They know that I've not been in the country, but they know where I came from. I want to state that.
You don't want people to know, but you think it's a good law?
Conditions that could, could give opportunities for these people. Because you're not going to tell me that a person has not got money, is waking up to get something like 10,000, he's going to come up with money to rent a shop, which is going to be really good, really a lot of money.
I get your point, sir. But this company, and you have to buy from a licensed person. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
How am I supposed to know that person I'm buying something from is licensed or unlicensed? How am I supposed to know that? Somebody answer my question.
What next?
I want to have myself a big pack of pork and then have a big swap of beers. Then yeah, I call it a day.
King dancer? Which kind of music do you sing?
Nembai papa, laga afrabete, na yambani gospel, nakuba ni niraga.
And who taught you how to sing, Bran?
I am not understanding that word.
I see. English might be the problem.
I don't understanding that words.
So, what is your interest, young man?
I interested in chinampere.
Can you then sing in English?
Don't worry, my dear, don't worry. Don't pop, my dear, don't pop. The happiness will be meeting finished your occupation from school.
Agnes Nandutu. Point blank.
Inakudaguza omuziki guvera molina kugumanyaka undate ulet natambulana yagana.
We work so hard, but we are never protected. But with Skin Guard, we are protected. Skin Guard is for everyone.
Getting us into the dancing mood there. Well, the Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Janet Museveni, has urged men in the region to engage in productive activities like farming to improve the livelihood of their families. The Minister, who doubles as the First Lady, was speaking in Kotido, where she commissioned water projects funded by the United Nations Children's Fund.
You people are doing absolutely nothing to feed yourselves, to ensure that the services that are provided for you are maintained. We cannot afford that anymore.
Water is life. It's not only important for the survival of children, but it also helps improve learning outcome because we have water and sanitation in schools, but it also helps empower girls because girls have to fetch water, they have to go long distance, often they can be abused along the way and so on. So by bringing water closer to communities, we hope also to improve the lives of girls and women.
Be happy that this project will relieve girls and women of their daily toil of walking long distance to fetch water. In other words, this water supply system will improve the quality of life for women and girls and thereby promote further economic development in the region.
Sharif Bukenya takes on UPDF's John Tumukunde in a non-title welterweight professional kickboxing bout in Masaka tomorrow. The highly anticipated bout has each of the fighters weighing 69 kilograms, as Alfred Odong reports.
Sharif Bukenya and John Tumukunde will each tomorrow look to claiming the bragging rights in the professional kickboxing welterweight category after the fight in Masaka. The fighters each weighed 69 kilograms and are optimistic of making an impressive show in the highly anticipated 7-round contest. Tumukunde has a superior record and experience, having 88 fights including 1 loss, 15 knockouts and 72 wins. Bukenya has 11 fights to his belt, 6 of which being wins, 4 knockouts and 1 loss, but the non-title fight will determine who is better than the other. We have been told about many fights, but it's about tomorrow. You should all come and watch and witness for yourselves. Bukenya is known for being indisciplined. I'm going to teach him a lesson tomorrow and even force him to shave the beards. The fight is a build-up to their dream of bidding for regional and world title fights later this year. Alfred Odong, NTV at 1.
We have come to the end of today's bulletin. For the lovers of World Cup, we hope maybe Ghana can pull off a miracle as they face Germany in the early game today. Otherwise, do keep it here at NTV. Good afternoon.
NTV, turning on your world.
Sometimes children have amazing ideas, but they can lead to tough stains. And for